Are you ready for a wild offseason, 49ers fans? Brock Purdy's looming contract extension is just the tip of the iceberg. As we gear up for 2025, the quarterback situation in San Francisco is far from settled. With key backups hitting free agency, the Niners must act fast to secure a solid QB behind Purdy. Will they bring back a familiar face or look to the draft for fresh talent? This pivotal decision could define our season. Don't miss out on the latest updates. Subscribe now and hit that like button to stay in the loop on everything 49ers. As we dive into the latest developments surrounding our beloved San Francisco 49ers, one thing is crystal clear. The conversation about quarterbacks is heating up, and it's not just about Brock Purdy. Sure, Purdy is set to score a lucrative contract extension that will likely make him one of the highest-paid quarterbacks in the NFL, and rightfully so, given his impressive performance. But what about the depth behind him? That's where the intrigue lies, and it's a topic that demands our attention. With both Joshua Dobbs and Brandon Allen hitting free agency this offseason, the 49ers are left in a precarious position. Tanner Mordecai, the undrafted rookie from 2024, is currently the only other quarterback on the roster. Can you imagine the 49ers heading into next season with Mordecai as the primary backup? I don't know about you, but that makes me uneasy. While there's been some buzz about Mordecai's development, trusting him as the go-to guy behind Purdy seems risky at best. Now let's talk about Dobbs. He had a solid run in 2024, but does he really want to come back to a situation where he's likely a third-string option? He spent most of last season behind Purdy and Allen, watching from the sidelines. Yes, he had that spectacular 326-yard game against the Cardinals, but after that, he was relegated back to the bench. On the other hand, Allen performed admirably in his lone start against Green Bay, but there's no guarantee that the 49ers would feel comfortable with him as the QB2 next season. Remember the chaos that unfolded at the end of the 2024 season? Purdy took a nasty hit to his elbow in Week 17, and just like that, the team's playoff hopes were hanging by a thread. It's easy to forget the turmoil we faced before Purdy emerged as a solid starter, but the reality is, injuries can strike at any moment. We can't afford to ignore the quarterback position, especially after witnessing the fallout from Purdy's injury. So, what's the plan for San Francisco? It's clear they need to add at least one more quarterback to the roster, but ideally, two. They can't simply plug in a cheap backup and hope for the best. We need a player who can step in and win games if Purdy has to miss time. That's a crucial element that the front office must address this offseason. Could it be Allen returning for another shot? Maybe. But is that the best route? Or will it be Dobbs, looking to prove he can be a reliable starter? There's also the possibility of drafting another quarterback in 2025, which could change the landscape entirely. Whatever route they take, it has to be a player they believe in, someone capable of leading the team in challenging situations. And honestly, this brings me to a crossroads. Do you think this was the best decision? I'm torn here. The 49ers have a bright future, but they can't afford to gamble on the quarterback position. If Purdy goes down again, we need someone who can step up and carry the torch, not just someone who's there for the ride. As fans, our hopes and dreams hinge on these decisions. Every choice made by the front office impacts our chances of contending for a Super Bowl. The stakes are incredibly high, and the pressure is on. Will they make the right moves to ensure we have a solid backup plan in place? The latest mock draft from Dalton Miller at Pro Football Network has the San Francisco 49ers making some intriguing moves that have me buzzing with anticipation. Coming off a disappointing 6-11 season, it's clear the Niners are looking to bounce back strong, and they hold the 11th overall pick in the upcoming 2025 NFL Draft. Now, the burning question is, will they make the right choices to get us back in the championship conversation? Miller predicts that the 49ers will kick off their draft strategy by bolstering the offensive line with Will Campbell, the standout offensive lineman from LSU. As a passionate fan, I can't help but feel a mix of excitement and cautious optimism about this choice. Campbell played left tackle in college, but could be shifting to guard in the NFL due to his size and some struggles with speed rushers. His pass-blocking grade of 80.6 is impressive, but his run-blocking score leaves something to be desired. Still, having a versatile player who can kick inside before potentially taking over for Trent Williams down the line seems like a smart move, especially in today's league where offensive line talent is scarce. Honestly, I'm torn on whether this is the best decision. but I trust John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan's vision for this team. In the second round, Miller envisions the Niners enhancing their defense by selecting cornerback Azariah Thomas from Florida State. This kid is an athlete, and if there's one thing we know, it's that a solid corner can make a world of difference in a pass-heavy league. Thomas's ability to fit into a scheme that allows him to thrive, particularly in Cover 1 and Cover 3, is crucial. He didn't allow a single touchdown in his last collegiate season, which makes me wonder if he could be the lockdown corner we desperately need. The thought of him shutting down receivers while our pass rush gets home is just exhilarating. Moving to the third round, Miller predicts that we'll grab defensive tackle Alfred Collins from Texas and offensive tackle Blake Miller from Clemson. Collins is noted for being an absolute beast against the run, but his pass rushing skills are less than stellar. Still, if he can shore up our run defense, it could free up our linebackers to make more plays. As for Blake Miller, he's technically sound and has the potential to upgrade our right tackle position, which has been a sore spot for far too long. If he can develop physically and improve in the run game, he could be that steady presence we've been craving. But it doesn't stop there. Miller continues to project additional picks that could really round out our roster. In the fourth round, we might see Terrence Ferguson, a tight end from Oregon, and Samuel Brown, a wide receiver from Miami. Ferguson could be a nice addition to help diversify our offensive attack, and Brown has the potential to stretch the field, which we need to open up the running game. Omar Norman Lott from Tennessee, another defensive tackle, could add depth to our defensive line, which is vital in today's game as injuries can derail a season. Later in the draft, Miller suggests we take a flyer on quarterback Max Brosmer from Minnesota in round 6. With the uncertainty surrounding our QB situation, having a young developmental guy in the mix could be a smart move. And finally, we might wrap things up with safety Dante Trader Jr. from Maryland and wide receiver Josh Kelly from Texas Tech in the 7th round. Both players could bring added depth and competition to their respective positions. So, what does all this mean for us as 49ers fans? It's clear the front office is focused on building a balanced team that can compete on both sides of the ball. The decisions made in this draft could set the tone for our future and reignite our hopes of returning to the playoffs. But I want to hear from you, the faithful fans. Do you believe these draft moves will lead us back to glory? And you, what do you think? I want to hear your opinions down below. Remember, this is our team, and each decision shapes our future. So let's keep the conversation going. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on all things 49ers. And make sure to activate the notification bell to get all the latest updates. Let's rally together as we look forward to what promises to be an exciting draft season.